Venus is, I thought, from all my research and all my thinking, speaking about it with people and seeing how it plays out in charts also, is two main things. And I think this first one is the more important one, and it actually leads to the next one. There is something in us that's making everything else work on everyday basis. While the sun is supposed to make everything work where we know what we want, what is our main goal in life, this main goal that the sun represents is more distant. We have to dig for it. We have to see over time what it really means. It's a search for meaning. But that search for meaning needs to go on a quest first. It needs to how do we get there? How do we actually realize what it is? By meeting different experiences that relate more to Venus, and to meeting people and things in life, seeing them, and eventually seeing ourselves in them, like a mirror. By meeting different things and trying different things, we get to realize what is ours and what is not ours. What do we want to attract to ourselves and what not. One of the things Venus is our tastes and aesthetic feeling about everything. Whether we believe a certain object or person is beautiful or not. It's like a code inside us, an instinct, which dictates that. But in order to get there, we have to have passed judgment on this thing. This thing needs to have come our way, met somebody or seen this glass or whatever. And then we have decided, based on the sign and the house position of our Venus and all the aspects it makes in the chart, will give us some information on what do we think about it. It's really thinking also, not only feeling. Because feeling is meant to be something that makes me feel good or bad. Well, here with Venus we have I like it or I don't like it. So why is Venus the force of inner integration? Last week we spoke about the combination of the sun and the moon, where the moon is this thing which is really pushing us into different directions because of emotions. Because something like underneath compulsively wants us or asks us to do certain things because we feel about it. And this feeling about it is just a direct influence from outside. There's very little we can do about controlling the moon. And the moon is basically something that can push us into different directions without being able to do what we really want to do. And makes it so that we forget about what we really want or make it difficult to realize it. And there are other factors in the birth chart and in us which are also kind of pulling us into different directions. And the task of Venus is to find the common meaning there, to find really its way through all this mess of different things which are acting on us or making us feel in different ways. So there is a reasoning principle in Venus, in the function of Venus, which we then need to use as a tool to think about the experiences we have and the people we meet, and to see how we can integrate them in our own strategy for living our lives. Where we make our strategy is at the level of Venus. But different things need to happen. It's not always easy, because Venus is something that we don't automatically master. We have to master it over time. And when we haven't really mastered it well, we fall into this confusion of what is it that I really like in this life? Which things are my things? And we start mixing up the moon stuff with the Venus stuff. These are the two feminine planets in astrology and the two feminine faces of every woman and of every man as well, because men also have Venuses and moons, but with them it's a little bit more subconscious. With us, this is the most conscious women thing, feminine thing, receptive. Everything feminine, be it signs of the zodiac, which are feminine, we call them feminine passive receptive signs, be it Venus as a planet, is a mechanism of getting things inside. And when we get them inside, we need to know what to do with them. And what you start doing then with your perceptions, with your experiences, is a strategy through the perspective of the sign. So a Gemini Venus will pass judgment or will think about things based on, are they smart? Are they interesting? Are they valuable? This is Gemini. Do they make it so that I have a good time every day? When choosing people, a partner, for example, love, or any other sort of encounter, a Venus in Gemini will be interested in whether it's varied, interesting, intelligent, smart, talkative, things like that. While Venus in Sagittarius is slightly on a different level. Is this thing broadening my horizons? Is it bringing me to new territories? Is it foreign? Foreign things are very interesting. Also intellectualism, like with Gemini, but on a slightly different level. I spoke about this contrast between Gemini and Sagittarius last time, but it's Sagittarius also wants to go out a lot and to be among things that haven't been heard of before or seen before, but then it needs to make a conclusion of some sort. What does this all mean for me? It's searching for meaning. Aquarius is very experimental Venus, especially with its looks, because Venus is about aesthetics and taste, and now the way we as women position ourselves out there, and how do we dress, how do we make our hair, what choices we make about our appearance is to do with the sign of the Venus. And when you have Venus in Aquarius, that would be a bit eccentric from time to time, could be at least. There is this a bit of a androgynous quality in Venus in Aquarius, where a woman can act as a man a little bit, or at least go into the role of a masculine role, just for the sake of role play. It's possible to do that if she wants to. Or she can devise costumes and stuff like that. It's very good with making it look like a scene has been designed for a specific reason. In Aquarius, Venus in Aquarius, and many other things as well. It's a bit intellectual also, like Gemini, but now on a higher level intellectual. Gemini is let's chatter, let's speak, let's have a fun time. Well, Aquarius is about very big things, very big topics. Politics as well, it's a bit politicized. I don't know if you care about these things. But eventually, our Venus becomes our values and beliefs because of all of this. And what we will then go and join, what club we're going to join, what people we will want for friends, again will be through the perspective of Venus, if we have worked on it. And really sat down and thought about how and what. Because many people actually don't do that. They don't get there at all. Especially women have lots of trouble later with relationships if they haven't decided very consciously on which things they prefer in life for themselves as women and from other people. And if we haven't made all these decisions, it's something that starts in puberty as a process, and that's really the point of puberty years, to reflect yourself in the image of your first boyfriend or girlfriend and start having this sense of self-value, whether I'm liked or not, for what am I liked, which things in me other people find beautiful, and then through the perspective of my own Venus, whether I also find these things beautiful. Maybe not, maybe yes. But I need to kind of strengthen myself and my self-esteem in these years for the first time, so that when I go forward in life and grow older, I can go back as a reference point, back to the same base that I've built. And many people walk around without that base. It's missing, it hasn't been built. And this causes so much confusion in us. We don't know what we want. And this way we become very dependable on other people and on situations that just come our way. And they start making us feel good or bad, which is very lunar. Lunar means emotional, unconscious, just compulsive, direct. And they make us, in this moment, feel good or bad. And that's how we base our whole situation. That's what we base our whole situation on. We start being depressed or very relieved depending on whether somebody said something nice to us or made us a compliment, or our boyfriend likes us and we have a very, at the moment, harmonious relationship, or at least we feel about this way. But whether things are really the way we feel is not always the same thing. Femininity has many faces, and it's not only one box in which we have to all try to put ourselves. The more you act your femininity through your Venus sign, whatever it is, the more authentic it's gonna be. And Venus is looking for authenticity, for truth, for real values, for things which you have, you've got there, you have decided for yourself that that's gonna be who you are.
Do you think like mutable signs have a harder time with this?
Could be, because they can be more influenced by what's going on around. And all the mutable signs are very adjusting themselves, they're adjustable. Finally, on this page, I want to say that our self-esteem and stability as people, both men and women, and our ability to not be shaken constantly by the changes around us and what other people think about us or how they accept us, is the stability of Venus, where valuing, exercising your, converting this into an exercise to constantly put value onto things and onto people so that you find your own self-value, then prepares you for the next stage. All these things happen together, but we can say the next stage, if all went well and we did manage to form a stable base of self-esteem, is then the function of relating.